Welcome to week 4 of ECE 312, Ashford University's Administration of Early Childhood Education Programs. You have made it a little over halfway, so congratulations. I'm going to show you a few items dealing with week 4 that will be very helpful. So I'm going to scroll down here to week 4. I'm not going to hit the overview button. You can check that, but you notice it's there. Gives you a good overview of the course. And the expectations for this week, plus some additional information that can be very helpful in the process. The resources for this week are Chapter 7 and Chapter 8 of your textbook. If you click here on the Administration of Early Childhood Education Programs, the required text will come up, and it'll have instructions to guide you to Chapter 7 and Chapter 8. NAEYC programs and their standards are going to be an essential part of what you're accomplishing this week, especially as you do your PowerPoint. So make sure that you're looking for that. Here's some recommended resources that can be very helpful in the process as well. So we're going to move on to the next page. At the bottom, I can click. Got the instructor guidance. Again, I'm not going to take a lot of time. Great picture with the colorful hands. But it gives you an opportunity to walk through, again, some guidance that will help you fill in the blanks throughout the course. So we'll scroll to the bottom of that and go to the first discussion. First discussion is relating to how you work with your staff, both in recruiting and guiding, mentoring, training, in services, and the ways that you provide professional development for them. So as you look, there are two parts. You can pick one of these two: support and mentor a staff member who's struggling, or how might you challenge a staff member to continue to grow if she's been in her position successfully for a long time. One thing that I was challenged with years ago, talking about a long-term teacher, a mentor of mine said, has that person developed 20 years of experience as a teacher, or have they just been doing the same thing for 20 years? There is a difference, and one shows professional growth and a desire to grow. You'll notice that it talks about these questions asked and the questions that are important of RIA Play. I want you to notice that that is found in section 7.6 called Supervising Staff. It's this video that's a little over 2 minutes long that would benefit you to watch as you prepare for that discussion. So make sure that you're doing that. It's always important to read the guided response. There are several steps in your guided response to this. And so it's important that you read and follow this instruction. It helps engage your mind and helps you think critically as a leader should in an early childhood education program. Discussion 2 is talking about having a plan for parental communication. Chapter 8 deals with that. You want to create a detailed strategy that you can implement the first week of school, what you're going to do to get parents involved, and then a monthly strategy theme type calendar. Early childhood education educators love to have thematic units. How would you incorporate parental involvement and engagement in these themes? Be creative with that. And so it's something that's fun. I enjoy reading this one just because I see a lot of creative ideas. It's an opportunity for you all to learn from each other and seeing how you can put that together. Again, important to read the guided response that you have here to make sure that you are fulfilling those requirements and you're really using critical thinking in the process. Your journal is talking about your career goals and a resume. So there's a lot of things to do to prepare for this journal. Many of you already have a resume. If not, this is a good time to begin to prepare that. And there is some resume resources and a resume template. You can find those at the links that are listed here. There's information on writing a winning resume, what that includes. So make sure that you're following all this. In addition to submitting your resume, you're going to choose one of the following here. You're going to list your career goals and 3 to 5 key skills or qualifications that make you a strong candidate for the career that you're wanting to pursue. When it says 3 to 5, if you just give me a brief list and you give me 3, don't assume that that's going to be an exemplary response. If you give me 3 well-detailed responses that explain how they connect between your career goal and your qualifications, that would probably meet that goal. But just be very careful not to be too brief in that, but provide some explanation. And then share some changes you made to your resume based on the skill that you want. Because when I've written resumes, one of the things I do is I look at each job that I'm applying for, and I will create my resume slightly different, sometimes significantly different, to be able to highlight how I qualify for that position. So it's important to realize that the resume is not just something that you pull up just before you send. It is going to be that item that you have that you can edit as necessary to be able to highlight your specific skills that are for that position. You may move things up or down in your resume depending on the job that you're applying for. So those are important in that. And then the assignment for the week is to develop a PowerPoint presentation. That PowerPoint presentation, the guidance is here. And you will have the items that you need to do for this. It's an 8 to 10 PowerPoint slide presentation. It's important. I want you to remember to keep in mind the 7x7 rule. Use the slide notes for the long text. The 7x7 rule of PowerPoint is no more than 7 lines per slide and no more than 7 words per line. Our mind can't take in that much information, and if you're just going to read what's on the slide, then you don't need to be planning a presentation. You will not be presenting this, but it is something you could present in an in-service or something else that would encourage your staff to understand exactly what your expectations are as a leader. So keep those things in mind. It needs to be an APA format when you cite sources. You need to have a reference page at the end that explains the sources that you did use. So make sure that you read these instructions very carefully. You will be sharing those with your classmates in the discussion in week 5. I will be pairing you with another classmate. So be looking this week for an email that has the week 5 discussion groups. Here's a sample of what it will look like. Here's the guidance for that, so you know what to expect. And I will have listed in this area right here, my 2 example people are John Sample and Molly Example. And those will be, that's where the name of your parent group will be. It's important that you complete this assignment on time and that you submit it into the discussion so that your classmates can have opportunity to interact appropriately with this discussion. I'm looking forward to what you accomplish in week 4 and looking forward to how this is all going to bring this class together as we get very close to the end. So thank you so much and have a great week.